Basketball is a sport that is constantly growing and changing. Throughout the history of the NBA, we have seen many different types of players dominate the league, with every era in the history of the NBA representing that change. On October 9th of 2023, we saw a glimpse of the next evolution in the NBA during a preseason game between the OKC Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs, where we saw 2022 second overall pick Chet Holmgren and 2023 first overall pick Victor Wembanyama face off for the first time in an NBA setting. It was a matchup that didn't disappoint, and although it was a preseason game, I saw a lot of what makes me so high on these two players, which is what I want to talk about in this video. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about this matchup. Now, this isn't the first time that Chet and Victor have faced off against each other. On July 11th of 2021, they faced off in the FIBA U19 gold medal game. And while Chet and Team USA won that game, Victor was clearly the best player on the court, and it wasn't even close. He had 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 blocks on 42.9, 20, 100 splits, going 9 for 9 from the line. He was the game leader in points, rebounds, and blocks. His 8 blocks were more than double the entire Team USA total for that game, and he was a +7 in a 2-point loss. Compare that to Chet Holmgren's 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists on 37.5, 50, 75 splits, going 3 for 4 from the line. It was a game that really showed just how generational of a prospect Victor was. At just 17 years old, he was by far the best player in a game where his competition was at least 1 year older than him, and most of them were 2 or more years older. And also facing off against a team that included 6 players who would be eventually drafted into the NBA, 5 of them being first round picks and 3 of them being top 10 picks. Now, while Victor clearly dominated the game and outplayed Chet, it was a lot more about how insane of a prospect Victor was than it said anything about what Chet was as a prospect, because Chet was still an amazing prospect. But that was back then, and now when you watch them match up, it was different. Let's start with Chet Holmgren. Chet stands at 7'1", he weighs 208 pounds, and he has a 7'6" wingspan. He was the consensus #1 ranked high school recruit in the 2021 class by all major outlets, and he would commit to play his college basketball at Gonzaga, following in the footsteps of his high school teammate and top 5 pick, Jalen Suggs. Chet had an outstanding season at Gonzaga, averaging 14.1 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists per game, and 3.7 blocks per game in 26.9 minutes per game. He was a consensus second-team All-American, Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year, as well as first-team All-Conference. Chet was my #2 ranked prospect in the 2022 NBA Draft behind Paolo Banchero. I had a prospect grade of 99.2 on him. For context, that's the same prospect grade I had on Jaren Jackson Jr. and LaMelo Ball, which also means that he was tied for the 12th highest prospect grade I've given out since I started this in 2016. He's also tied with Jaren for the 4th highest prospect grade I've given to a big prospect. Chet missed his entire first season due to injury that he suffered in a Pro-Am game prior to the start of the 2023 season, so this was the first time we really got to see him play against NBA-level athletes in a non-summer league setting. In this game, Chet Holmgren put up 21 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. He shot 7 for 10 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, 5 for 7 from the line, and what's most impressive is he did all of this in just 16 minutes and 16 seconds. What impressed me the most when I watched the tape was how comfortable Chet was. He was aggressive while also playing within the flow of the offense. I was impressed by how he didn't show fear of physicality. He was attacking the basket and drawing contact. He's definitely gotten stronger since his Gonzaga days. And you can tell he took advantage of the medical redshirt season to add strength to his frame. I think he could get bigger, not by much, but I do think maybe a few more. He's probably around 208 pounds. He entered the league at 195, so he's made a lot of progress. Ideally, he gets to around 215, 220. Regardless, I was really encouraged by what I saw. He was active on both sides of the glass. He showcased on and off ball scoring ability. His handle looked really good and comfortable. His movement skills were fluid. The motor was great per usual. I think he's going to have a great rookie season on both ends of the floor. And I know it's only one preseason game, but I do think I saw signs that suggest he could be a more productive scorer as a rookie than I initially projected. Now let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. Victor stands at 7'4", although I think he's probably closer to 7'5". He weighs 210 pounds. He has an 8-foot wingspan. Now, he went through a different process than Chet due to playing overseas. He played for multiple pro teams where the common theme was limited play time with the pro squad and much better stats against competition his age. But this past season was his last year, obviously, before the NBA, and he played with the Mets 92, where he played a bigger role. He got more freedom and opportunity as the main option, leading Pro A in points per game, rebounds per game, and blocks per game. Victor was the consensus best prospect in the 2023 NBA draft, and I wasn't going to be a contrarian and say otherwise. I had a prospect grade of 99.8 on him, tied for the highest prospect grade I've ever given out with Luka Doncic. Victor, being an overwhelmingly easy top prospect in the class, stands out even more to me because this draft also had my 4th highest graded prospect that I've ever evaluated in Scoot Henderson. In this game, Victor Wembanyama put up 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, shot 8 for 13 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, 2 for 3 from the line, in 19 minutes and 22 seconds. Now, compared to Chet, Victor felt a bit more uncomfortable. Now, a big part of that is Chet had better teammates around him in terms of playmakers, which I do think is a factor. But I feel like he was a bit out of control at times. Regardless, he showed why he's viewed as a generational talent and why he's worth the hype. He did things at his size that shouldn't be possible. Unreal body control and flexibility. He showcased some shooting flashes. He showed a handle that nobody that tall should have any business having. He even had some passing flashes. And he just had plays that didn't feel real. Moments where you just couldn't stop him. Now, we did have moments where he struggled with the physicality, being a bit uncomfortable, playing with a new team, although nothing that was out of the ordinary for a young player. Overall, I think on tape, Victor gave a great example of what to expect from him as a rookie. Dominating moments mixed with learning and adjusting. I think he's going to have a great rookie season. Nothing that swayed me from the idea that he is the Rookie of the Year favorite. As of right now, I would say that he still is. But I also would say that now, I don't think the gap is as big as it once was. I thought at one point he was in a tier of his own in terms of rookie power rankings. But now, I think that Chet Holmgren and even Scoot Henderson are a bit closer than I initially projected. Here are my big takeaways from both of these players in this game. For both of them, I saw a lot to suggest that they can be positive impact defenders as rookies. I like both their feel on that end of the floor. I like the physical tools that both of them have, and I really like the motor that both of them have. Now, for Chet Holmgren in particular, I took away a few more things. His scoring is further along than I thought it would be. I think his skill, versatility, and mindset as a scorer will lead to better scoring production as a rookie than initially projected. He's very comfortable playing off creators, which is a good thing considering he's going to be playing alongside a top 10 to 12 player in the NBA during the regular season. I think he will draw more fouls than I initially thought. I think he could be a 4 to 5 free throw attempt per game player because his feel as a foul drawer and lack of fear of physicality are legit. And I do think, I'm not saying this is a negative, but the fact that he does have a bit of a thinner frame does make it easier to draw contact. My rookie projection for Chet is 15.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists per game, 2.1 blocks per game on 57.9, 38.4, 74.1 splits. I think he's going to contribute on a team that has two creators, one of them a top 10 level player in the NBA. The other is one of the 10 to 12 best playmakers in the NBA. I think his efficiency is going to be really good. He was really efficient in college. He's going to be efficient in the NBA, in my opinion. I know new 58% for a rookie feels like a lot, but considering the fact that he can create for himself, but also can play off of others, that usually is a role that leads to good efficiency, even at a young age. For Victor, what I took away was he's not going to be a big-time rebounder. He plays along the wing. He also just doesn't have great rebounding intangibles. I know he's like 7'5", but it just isn't something that he's great at, and I do think it's going to lead to lower rebounding numbers than people think. I also think it's going to take a bit for this Spurs core to click. I think that they have talent. I like Vassell, I like Keldon, I like Sohan, I even like Trey Jones. I do think Trey Jones is kind of underrated, but you can tell they're still trying to figure it out. He will struggle with physicality at times, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's nothing out of the ordinary. He's also going to have moments where he's unguardable, and so why he was the number one pick, why he's been viewed as the best prospect since LeBron or Luka. I think he's going to be a better passer than the assist per game may suggest. I don't know if they're going to use him as a playmaker. I hope they do. There are going to be ups and downs, but it's worth it to get him those reps because I do like his potential there. My rookie projection for Victor is 17.3 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game, 2.2 blocks per game on 44.6, 31.1, 73.9 splits. The efficiency is a lot lower than it will be with Chet, in my opinion, because they're playing two different roles. Chet is a secondary option on a team looking to make the playoffs. Victor is going to be the main option on a team that's rebuilding, and he's going to be playing on the perimeter a lot. But overall, I think he's going to have a really good rookie season and should contribute to an improved Spurs record, even if I still think they're going to be towards the bottom of the league. This is what the future of the NBA will look like. Taller forwards and bigs with unreal versatility, doing things that in years past were unthinkable for players this big and this tall. And the scary part is, these two are only showing us a glimpse of how great they can be. They're just scratching the surface of their potential, and if this was just the beginning of what's to come, I can't even imagine what they will look like in their primes. On top of that, they aren't going to be the only ones. Mobley, Paulo, and even Jaren are a part of this new age of NBA basketball as well. But the question is, who's next? Well, there's one kid in particular who's going to hear his name called very early in the 2024 NBA draft to keep an eye on. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways you can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and support the channel, as well as help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you thought about the Victor Wembanyama Chet Holmgren duel. Do you think it's going to be the next great NBA rivalry? Do you think that they're going to be stars? How good do you think Chet's going to be? How good do you think Victor's going to be? Go through all that in the comment section below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.